Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics. The Miami Heat continue to wrestle with inconsistency. Just when they edge above .500, they slide back down, as seen in their Sunday loss to the Raptors. Miami's offense showed flashes of firepower with Tyler Herro putting up a team-high 31 points, including 6 threes, but defensive lapses and a hot shooting Raptors squad proved too much. Despite Bam Adebayo's dominance on the boards, grabbing 20 rebounds for his 10th double-double, Miami's 44.3% shooting was enough to keep up with Toronto's 52.4%. Offensively, Miami ranks 18th in scoring, averaging 111.3 points per game, while defensively, their 6th best scoring defense, 109.9 ppg, helps keep games close. Key contributors like Jimmy Butler, 19 ppg, and Adebayo, 15.8 ppg, 9.4 rpg, will need to elevate their game if they hope to counter Boston's high-powered attack. The Boston Celtics, meanwhile, come into this matchup fresh off a rare loss to the Cavaliers. Despite leading by 12 points heading into the fourth quarter, Boston's defense collapsed, giving up 43 points in the final frame. Jason Tatum shone with 33 points and 8 rebounds, but the absence of Jaylen Brown, illness, and Derek White, foot, exposed some vulnerabilities. Boston boasts the league's third-best scoring offense, 120.7 ppg, and is lethal from beyond the arc, averaging 19.1 made threes per game. Tatum continues to lead the charge with 29 ppg, supported by Kristaps Porzingis, 18.5 ppg, 7 rpg, who's settling in nicely since his return. However, back-to-back games and potential absences could test their depth. Key matchup: Celtics three-point offense versus Heat's perimeter defense. Boston thrives from deep, launching 50.7 attempts per game, while Miami's defense allows the 8th most three-point attempts, 38.6. If the Celtics sharpshooters get hot, Miami's defense could be in for a long night. Conversely, Miami's slower pace, 24th in possessions per game, could help mitigate Boston's scoring surge. The Celtics have dominated this matchup recently, going 4-1 SU and ATS in last season's playoffs and 3-0 SU in regular season meetings. At home, Boston is 4-0 SU in their last 4 games and 5-2 ATS in their last 7 against Miami. The total points trend leans toward the under, with both teams showing a propensity for lower scoring games recently. Miami's offense has struggled to hit triple digits in 4 of their last 7, and Boston, despite their firepower, scored 111 or fewer in 3 of their last 5 games. My team pick is Boston minus 7.5 points. The Celtics' depth and three-point proficiency should overwhelm Miami, especially at home. My total pick is under 224.5 points. Both teams lean towards slower pace games, and potential absences for Boston's key scorers could limit their offensive ceiling. Expect Boston to assert their dominance, but in a controlled, methodical fashion, keeping the total under the line. New Orleans Pelicans versus Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are finding their groove, entering this matchup on a 3-game win streak that includes back-to-back victories over Cleveland and a nail-biter against Charlotte. Atlanta's confidence is surging, and their ability to capitalize on opponents' mistakes was on full display in the win against the Hornets. Jalen Johnson's efficient 20-point outing and Trae Young's leadership, 21.4 ppg, 12.1 apg, are central to Atlanta's recent success. Offensively, the Hawks rank 9th in scoring, 116.1 ppg, and thrive inside the arc, evidenced by their 56-26 advantage in the paint against Charlotte. However, their perimeter game remains a weakness, shooting just 34.9% from deep, 20th in the NBA. Defensively, Atlanta continues to struggle, allowing 119.4 points per game, the 3rd worst mark in the league. Their inability to defend the three-point line, 38.9% allowed, worst in the NBA, is a glaring vulnerability. Injuries and inconsistency have plagued the Pelicans, leaving them near the bottom of the league standings. Their offense lacks rhythm, and their defense hasn't been able to compensate. While they occasionally flash potential, their lack of continuity has been a recurring issue. Facing an Atlanta team with momentum, the Pelicans have a steep uphill climb. Atlanta thrives in transition, ranking third in pace, which will test the Pelicans' ability to slow down the game. New Orleans' middle-of-the-pack pace, 15th, suggests they can keep up to an extent, but without a defensive anchor to disrupt Atlanta's rhythm, they may struggle to keep the Hawks in check. Look for Trae Young to exploit mismatches and Jalen Johnson to dominate the boards against a disjointed Pelicans frontcourt. Atlanta is 8-13 ATS this season and 3-7 ATS at home, signaling inconsistency in covering spreads. The over is 14-7 in Hawks games this season and 7-3 at home, underscoring their offensive prowess and defensive issues. The Pelicans' struggles with injuries and lack of identity play directly into Atlanta's favor. Atlanta Hawks minus 9.5 points. The Hawks' superior offense and confidence from their recent streak make them a strong play to cover against a Pelicans team still searching for answers. Over 228 points. Both teams push the pace and struggle defensively, setting the stage for a high-scoring affair. Atlanta's defensive lapses and New Orleans' ability to move the ball quickly should combine for plenty of scoring opportunities. Expect the Hawks to ride their momentum to a decisive victory, with Trae Young leading the way in another high-scoring outing. Brooklyn Nets vs. Chicago Bulls. The Nets enter this matchup on the second leg of a back-to-back, having faced the Orlando Magic on Sunday. After a rough 123-100 blowout loss to Orlando earlier in the week, Brooklyn's three-game win streak was snapped. The team's depth is being tested, with Shake Milton stepping up, season-high 22 points, amidst injuries in the backcourt. Dennis Schroeder's return is a positive, as he's been a consistent contributor with averages of 16.3 points, 5.6 assists, and 3.6 rebounds since November. However, Brooklyn's defensive struggles persist. Opposing teams are shooting 48.6% against them, second worst in the NBA, and their inexperience and injury-laden lineup leave them vulnerable to teams with offensive firepower. The Bulls have transformed into a run-and-gun team this season, leading the NBA in pace and dramatically increasing their three-point attempts to 42 per game, third most. However, this up-tempo style has come at a cost. They rank 29th in defensive rating and allow opponents to shoot a league-high 48.8%. Offensively, Nikola Vucevic, 32 points, 11 rebounds in his last game, and Zach LaVine, 29 points, 25-plus points in 5 of his last 7 games, are leading the charge. Vucevic has been a consistent double-double machine, while LaVine appears to have found his rhythm after a tough outing against Orlando last week. The Bulls' relentless pace will likely wear down the Nets, who will be coming off minimal rest. Brooklyn's thin backcourt and defensive inefficiencies make it hard to see them containing Chicago's offensive weapons. Schroeder's presence provides some stability for the Nets, but it's unlikely to be enough against a Bulls squad that thrives in high-scoring affairs. The Bulls are struggling defensively, but have the offensive tools to exploit the Nets' weak defense. Both teams are among the league's worst in defensive rating, setting the stage for a shootout. Chicago's pace, coupled with Brooklyn's fatigue, favors the Bulls both straight up and against the spread. My team pick is Chicago Bulls ATS. Brooklyn's back-to-back schedule and depleted lineup leave them at a significant disadvantage. Chicago's up-tempo offense should create mismatches and dictate the game. My total pick is over 230 points. Both teams struggle defensively, and with the Bulls' pace of play, this game has all the makings of a high-scoring contest. Expect the Bulls to capitalize on Brooklyn's fatigue and defensive weaknesses, with Vucevic and LaVine leading the way to a strong offensive performance.